All right, guys. Hi, this is Angelo Quinones and the Yuri Sign Ministries. Sign Ministries is designed to give you dependable and accurate answers that come straight from God's holy and inspired word, the Bible. Biblos, by the way, or just Biblos, post by E, and Manishma. And that's just the deal. Now, we're studying in this great chapter of John, okay? And Jesus is speaking, and that's just the deal. And he talks about tombs in verse 28 of this chapter. And so we're going to read this because this is quite clear, and we can defeat the witnesses at this point. Now, they have a wrong translation in their Bibles, okay? So we're gonna expose that, okay? Now, let's read this in the original, okay? Let's go to verse 28. Okay, like I said, it scrolls very well this out the other time. This is going to be the conclusion study for now anyway of this verse 28, about the tombs. Meta masete tuta, hati ergetai hora, en he pantes hoi. Entois, and this is the deal right here. Mene meois akusantai tes phones auto. This is quite clear. Let's read it again. May, praise the Lord, by the way, he gets the glory, not us. May thou masete tuta hati ergetai ora en he pantes hoi entois menemeois acusante o acusantai tes phones auto. Okay? This is telling us that the people that are dead, necron, okay, the ones that are dead will hear the voice of the Son of God and come forth from those tombs. Now, they're not only there's not only the tombs that are going to give up the dead, but the water are going to give up the dead. Okay, the overall picture of the anastasis, okay, of the just and the unjust, the resurrection. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? People are not only just buried in tombs, okay, but they're buried all over the place. And those bodies of the believers and unbelievers will be resurrected from the dead according to the first and second anastasis resurrection. Anastasis means resurrection of clinically dead bodies. Okay? That's just a deal. Now, it says over here, may, and that's not. Okay? That means not in Greek. Spelled out mu, eta. Nowadays called me and eta. With the grab marker. So it's not may, it's may. And it begins with not over here in the Greek. Now, I'm reading from verse 28 of chapter 5 of the Gospel Kata Ioannin. Okay? The Gospel according to John. Jesus is speaking. Okay? That's just a deal. Now, it goes on to say after this negative here, this Greek negative, okay, where am I at though? Did I just push it a little bit? Let me just scroll it up a little bit over here. It says, may, okay, marble. Okay, I will even use the translation surprised. Okay, do not be surprised. Do not marvel. Okay. And actually, there's a personal ending there, tau epsilon, and a connecting vowel, and and the epsilon is the first epsilon is a connecting vowel here in thou masete. That's a connecting vowel connecting the personal ending to the word epsilon can be used as a connecting vowel, and the tau and the epsilon is a personal ending. Men, te, those personal endings like that, and so that's a second person personal ending from the plural part of the paradigm. Okay, so that's in second person because he's speaking to these people. Okay, it says thou mazete. Balmazete. Okay? Do not be surprised. Okay? And it says over here, and it says atuta. And that means this. This is from the Hutas paradigm. Okay? You know, Hutas, tutu, tuto, tutan, like that. You know what I mean? From the masculine side of the paradigm. And it says, there's going to come a time, okay? There's going to come a time, it says over here, hati, que ergete, ergetai, actually, epsilon ro, chi, epsilon, which is a connecting vowel here, and then your personal ending tai, tau, alpha, iota, okay, ergetai. And the word for hours here, hora, actually hora in Spanish, hora here in the Greek with an H sound, omega with a rough breathing with the acute marker, ra, after that alpha, hour, in which all, and that's in the what do you call it, in the nominative plural, the epsilon and sigma are telling me that. From pas, from the Greek word pas, which means all. It's kind of tricky. This prepositional phrase, usually, you know what happens, you have no article, right? Or there's an article here, but in the middle of the prepositional, of the preposition and the object of the preposition, well, actually, in this situation, you have in which all, okay? You have a relative pronoun right tucked in the middle of the prepositional phrase. Okay, so you have a relative pronoun here. It looks like an article, doesn't it? Not an article. It's a relative pronoun in the dative case. See a little tiny I underneath the eta. Nowadays called eta. Rough breathing with a circumflex. So this could be very much confused with the hey, with the nominative singular feminine article from the ha hey. From the ha hey ta side of the paradigm. Okay, this is very confusing sometimes. If when you're beginning this stuff, you know, when you're looking at it for the first time, it does look it looks like an article, and it's still tricky. So you have to just be on your toes when you're looking at it. Where am I? Did this scroll all the way to 39? Okay, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so that's just the deal. Let's go to verse 28, though. Okay, that's verse 28 right there. Me thou masete atuta hati ergetai hora en he, in which, okay, in which pantes, okay, pantes, in which pantes, in which all pantes, and in which Pontus is this just that's so N is taking the date of hey there, okay, relative pronoun hey, Pontus hoi, okay, and that's a definite article, hoi, and it could be translated all those, okay, in the tombs, all those in the tombs, and tois menemeois, and tois menemeois, okay, in the tombs, okay, you see n preposition there, and tois in the dative plural construction, probably neuter, and because the same is for the neuter, the construction for the neuter and the masculine. And then menemeois, that's in the dative plural neuter, okay? And let's just stop right there for a second. This is the point in question. Is it memorial tombs or simply tombs? I already gave the example of Monument Park, okay, in Yankee Stadium. Okay, because this Greek word can't be translated into monument, okay? But the problem is that Jesus is speaking about the resurrection of people, all right?
Now, not all tombs are monument tombs, so let's get rid of that idea. But they're trying to push this into monument tombs, okay, to two words, okay? Just like cutting off. There's no such thing as cutting off, an idea of cutting off in verse 46 of chapter 25 of the Gospel Kata Mathayan, Gospel according to Matthew. There is no such thing as cutting off there. Okay, you can look at the Greek Septuagint and see several times where it says that man will be cut off from the children of Israel, or whatever the case may be. I might even do a separate study on that to compare the Greek words Colossian with that word in the Pentateuch and see that it's not the same. It's not the same. They put the idea of pruning or whatever the case may be that probably was the idea behind that Greek word Colossian in times before the New Testament was written, and they pushed it into New Testament times. And they do that to fit their, like Manti said, their peculiar, not valuable but strange theology. Okay. That's just the deal with the Jehovah's Witnesses, that they try to use any excuse to try to push their theology in front of their own people, like Hatheas. Well, Hatheas is, we could put that as the subject of the sentence in Hebrews chapter 1, verse 8, and we could do that because there's Hathranas and Hatheas, and so let's say that God is a throne rather than saying that the Father called Jesus God. Okay, with special definiteness, meaning with the article. Okay, see, so they'll use any excuse they can to not teach what the Bible teaches, but to teach what they want to teach. Okay, for several years. You understand what I'm saying? That's what they do. So they use anything. They'll use anything. They'll use the word. This word can be translated monument. Okay, monument, but not monument tombs. Okay. All right. We see the first three Greek letters here. Okay, mu, nu, and ater, or me, ni, and ita. You understand what I'm saying? Being the first three letters of the word for remember. Okay, in Luke chapter 16, verse 25, from the lips of Abraham. Okay. All right. So they twist that to their own destruction, and they push the word memory into the meaning of this text. We saw the semantic range. Okay, let's spell this word out over here. Okay, let's just read this text again. Okay, it says over here, "Me thou masate atuta ati erchetai hora, and hey pantes hoi and toys menemeois akusantai etes phones auto." Okay, everybody's going to hear the voice of the Son of God, auto, his voice. Okay, and voice is in the genitive construction. And this, if I should classify this, his voice. Okay, that's the genitive of possession. The genitive of possession or the genitive of description. Okay, that's what I'll classify this as, the genitive of possession. Phones, spelled out the word for voice, spelled out phi, like in phi, phi, pho, phum. You understand what I'm saying? Omega nu, eta with the circumflex and final sigma. His voice. That's his voice. That's the voice that belongs to him. Okay. Now, this proves also that he's not the Archangel Michael, because he's going to come with the sound of the Archangel Michael. With the sound. That's a trumpet sound. Okay? Now, I can come with the sound of Elvis Presley on your block. I can have my boombox over here, take it from here, go to your crib, and I can blast it, and I can come with the sound of Elvis Presley. It doesn't mean that I'm Elvis Presley, okay? You understand what I'm saying? And using my voice box. So I can have a boombox with me. I could come with the sound of whoever. I don't care. The Beatles. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't mean I'm Paul McCartney. It doesn't mean I'm Ringo Starr. It doesn't mean that. Okay? And then we see the identification, okay, of the angels that are going to be coming with the Son of God around verse 16 or 17 of chapter 1 of First Thessalonians. Okay? You see what I'm saying? Answering First Thessalonians chapter 4. That's a great answer, actually. Or is it Second Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 16? I have to check that out again, but I think that's the Second Thessalonians chapter 1 verses 16 or 17 answers the question of it gives you the identification, okay, of the ones that are going to come with Cristo, okay? Cristo, come with, so that'll be, that'll be in the Genesis, right? Okay. All right, but anyway, so it comes over here to say, okay, may thou mesita tuta hati erhetai ora en he pantes hoi en atois meneme ois akusantai, I should say, taste phone auto. Okay? But this is the word in question, okay, and that's just the deal. Now, let's check out, okay, what happened after the resurrection of Jesus, but it's written and recorded in the crucifixion chapter. Let's go to Matthew's Gospel, okay? Matthew's Gospel, chapter 27, and let's see where that's located at, probably in let me see, I have Matthew up there. Oh, good. So that's good. That's a good thing. So I was looking at hellfire and torture, verse 42 of chapter 13. Okay. That's just another topic altogether, though. Who's that? Hello? Okay. Who's that? Shani? Oh, Shani Poo. That's our son, Poopy. He pooed, I should say. Forgetting my English here in the Philippines. Now, let's check out what happened after the resurrection. This narrative over here. After the resurrection of Jesus, it is recorded in the crucifixion chapter. Okay, and let me see, Joseph, it says over here, so let's see what happened here. Among them, let me see, so, okay, resurrection, so it has to be this. And coming out of the memorial tombs, it says over here in verse 53 of the Gospel Katamatayam now. And coming out of the tombs after his, meaning Christ's resurrection, anastasis, they entered, okay, the holy city and appeared, okay, to many. Now let's read verse 50 ato, okay? The tombs. Now, actually, verse 51. Okay. She's probably watching him because he pooed a lot. That's why he's crying. He cries a lot. He's just baby. He's only 2 months old. And you okay, hon? And behold, the veil of the temple, meaning probably Temple of Solomon, or did they have the temple? It says the temple. It has to be the temple. The Temple of Solomon is the Temple of Solomon. Okay, it doesn't say the temple. The veil of the tabernacle. And behold, the veil of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom, and the earth shook, and the rocks were split, the tombs were open, and many bodies of the saints, it says bodies of the saints who had fallen asleep were raised. That's what it says. Were raised. Okay, sorry about the noise, guys. So my wife is doing the best she can to control the situation. But you see over here, that's Sean Donnelly, by the way, our newborn baby. Now let's check this out. It says over here, and behold. Okay, probably Edu in Greek. We'll check it out. Kai Edu. Probably we'll check it out. Okay, the veil of the temple was, okay, torn in two from top to bottom. So all the sacrifices ceased to be, okay, during the death of the Lamb of God who took away the sins of the world. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? and the earth shook. So it was a great earthquake, and the earth shook, and the rocks were split. Now, could that be ossuaries? The rocks there, I mean, rocks, could that be the tombs that were split? Okay, I mean, the boulders that were in the mouth of the tombs, or can that be the ossuaries? Okay, just wait for a second, guys. Wait for a second. Lock the door, honey, please. Thank you. I mean, that was an earthquake right there. My God. Goodness gracious, my son. Goodness gracious. Let's just do this again, guys. So I apologize for that. I mean, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious, my son. And he's only 2 months. Good. I mean, I think it's like 2 months and a half. It's gonna be 3 months this September the 24th. I mean, it's good God. I mean, I think earthquake just passed. Tsunami, a storm. Let's get back to this, guys, okay? And behold, the veil of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom, and the earth shook, and the rocks were split. Now, let's just stay there. Does it mean ossuaries, the rocks? I mean, it doesn't say ossuary here. It doesn't say, casket or whatever the case may be. I mean, but if you're talking about the old time saints, right? Well, they didn't have ossuaries in the earlier times. Okay. So it depends which saints were raised from the dead. Was it 108 BC or during the time of Christ? I mean, so they're gonna be raised from the dead. Okay, from those boxes. Okay, from those stone chests, the ossuaries, or stone chests like maybe 2x4 or 2x3 or whatever the case may be. And a person would decompose in a cave, in a tomb, you understand what I'm saying, for about a year. They would collect the bones, put it in that chest, and write an inscription on it, or they were, written beforehand, before they put the bones inside, and that's just the deal. Okay? Now, does it mean rocks in this sense? I mean, I have to check out the Greek and the history of the word for rocks here, but I think it's just regular either Petra, or lithoi. So we can check that out. We can check that out now, as a matter of fact. Let me check that out. Okay, see. And that's Matthew's gospel. So let me go to Matthew here and go basically almost all the way to the end. So let's go over here and let's get Kappa something here. Kappa Zeta. And that's just it. Now, that was at 51. I think that was 51. So let's go all the way to the end and then go backwards, to make it easier. Let's see if it's lithoi, Petras, or Petra. Okay. And I'll say no for that. I don't want to clean my phone now. Thank you. That app this is very annoying. Okay. But as long as it says no, that's just fine with me, Verse 54, okay, fine. Verse 51 is right here. And it says, Kai Idu, just like I said, remember Kai Idu? Idu means behold, Kai Idu. And I think it says Kai Idu, and behold, man has become like one of us, remember? Man has become like one of us. And has become like one of us is me menu, actually, in Hebrew, in verse 26 of chapter, verse 22 of chapter 3 of Bereshit, or Genesis. Man has become like one of us is me menu, a proof of the Trinity, in a sense, because it doesn't mention three there until it gets into the story of the Trinity, or an example of the Trinity visiting Abraham. But Shaloshe means three. But anyway, Kai idu ta kata petasma. Actually, kata petasma. Okay, to na'u. Now that's a temple. Na'an is temple, actually, Na'an. But this is Na'ul, and that's just the deal, or one of the constructions anyway for Temple Na'an, right? Na'ul is of the temple, here, of the temple, Na'ul. And of the temple, sorry about that, guys. Okay, where's temple over here? Na'ul, temple. Es Esquiste Ace Duo two, and that's two duo. Okay, Abba Anothen apart from, let me see, and that's Heos Kato. It says over here, Kai He Gain the earth. Okay, that's earth over there. It says there, and okay, hi Petrai. So that's Petrai. That's feminine for stones. Uh, Petra is that's feminine. That's a feminine construction, and the article high is pointing that out. So that's just the rocks. That could have been a stone that was rolled at the tomb that was split, or the tombs. It doesn't say that it doesn't say that the tomb was split. Okay, the bodies came out of the tomb. Let me see. To keep on reading over here. Okay, it doesn't say ossuary or anything like that. It's just rocks were split. So I mean, I'm kind of focusing too much on the rocks and stuff like that. But Erchi este san. Let me see over here, verse 52. And ta and the tombs. Okay, see, so that's a neuter word, or the word for tombs. Kai ta and ta is a neuter article from the plural side of the paradigm. Okay, mene mea. Okay, that's plural. The alpha's pointing that out along with ta, right? Ta mene mea tombs. Okay, ane och thesan akai and pala or pola. I don't care how you pronounce that. That's plural. Okay, many. Pala somata, and that's in the plural. Okay, somata. Many bodies. It says over here. Ton ke koi ke koi. It says, I'm using a magnifying glass, guys. Ke koi me menon. Okay. Hagion egerte um uh, um so perfect tense over there, reduplicating consonant kappa with a connecting vowel epsilon. And let me see over here, verse 53. It says kai exceltantes ek ton mene meon meta tain egesen autu eseltan ace tain hagian Pauline, and that's city over there, Pauline. Kai ene fa nis thesan. Okay, and that's appeared. That's appeared, and that's a preposition with aorist. That's an augment over there, and then the word for appeared, fa nis thesan. Okay, to many, and that's in the dative case, palois, to many, from and to many, palois, and that's in the dative palois there, appeared to many. Let's get back to the English. Now, is this in the beginning now? Let me see this one, verse 51. Okay. It says over here, and behold, okay, the veil of the temple was torn into from top to a bottom, from top to bottom, and the earth shook, and the earth shook, and the rocks were split, and the rocks were split. The tombs were open. So that if the tombs were open, not that the tombs itself was split, but the tombs were open, meaning the rocks were rolled out of the way, meaning those boulders. You know the one they said at Christ's tomb. Probably they were rolled away by angels. So not only the angels was working outside of the tomb of Christ to roll away, okay, the stone to let the disciples in, not to let Jesus out. Okay, he could have went right through the walls of the temple or the rock. That was in the mouth of the tomb. Okay, so the tombs were still there. The rocks were split. Okay, maybe the ossuaries, but we don't know. And the tombs, the boulders that were in front of the mouth of the tombs were split or just simply rolled away. But it really doesn't say, it doesn't have a lot of great detail here, okay, about what kind of rocks were split. I mean, I know I'm kind of concentrating on that, but anyway, torn into duo from top to bottom, and the earth shook. So there was the earthquake. Aretz probably in Hebrew, and the rocks were split. Okay, verse 52. The tombs. Okay, the tombs were opened. It says over here, and many bodies of the saints. I gave this to Mark from Missouri one day, who had falling asleep. Okay, were raised. Were raised. Agero were raised. Let's see if that's the word agero here. Same word found and recorded for Jesus raising, that he was going to raise himself up from the dead, verse 19 of chapter 2 of John's Gospel. Were raised. Okay, that's verse 52. Let's check that out. Verse 52. Where's verse 52 here? Sorry about that, guys. Verse 52 is verse 54. Let me see. Probably skipped it knowing me. Okay. Okay, verse 52. This is it right here. Okay. Egerte, passive ending, were raised. That's a passive ending. And then I believe, let me see, the eta there is lengthen the letter. Let me see what that letter was, alpha or epsilon. Probably alpha, but we'll see. Or probably epsilon. Let's see which one it is. That was lengthened to showcase the aorist tense. That's Matthew again. Okay, see over here, because I just want to look at the lexical form. Okay. Let's see over here. As in the aorist tense, the eta. It's just like what happened in for God so loved the world, and the alpha was lengthened to an eta. I just have an inquiring mind like that. Okay, so let's go to Matthew's Gospel and see what was lengthened. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? But there's no doubt the bodies came out of tombs, not memorial tombs. That's another verse that you can have in your quiver, okay, to shoot, spiritually speaking, at the witnesses. Okay, don't forget it. Matthew chapter 27, verses 51 through 53. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? Let's go all the way to the end over here. Okay, all right, and that's verse 52, I believe, right? Okay, I could easily skim. Just go back and forth. It doesn't really make a difference if I fall at the right spot. A lexical form, epsilon. Okay? Now, what does it mean over here? Okay, arose. So the eta lengthen an epsilon, just like an eta can lengthen an alpha. Okay, egero. And that iota appears in the present tense, right? Present tense, Egero. Okay, egero. Epsilon, gamma, epsilon, iota, rho, omega, all the way to the bottom. Spelled out in English, Egeiro. And the eta lengthen the epsilon, okay, to show you that this is in the aorist tense, a simple completed action in Greek. Okay, there's two completed actions in Greek tense-wise. So you have the perfect tense and the aorist tense, and it's the perfect tense is much more, okay, much more. It's much more involved in the perfect tense, let's just put it like that, than in the aorist tense. Aorist tense is a simple completed action. Okay? Arose. Eger thesan. Okay, arose. Now, arose. Now, you see something over here? So I can poke the bear. This is an aorist indicative passive. See, passive there because of the data, like that. Passive, aorist, tense, completed action, indicative, the mood or projected reality, and then passive. Okay, that they were raised. They arose. They were raised from the dead. They didn't raise themselves. They were raised from the dead ones. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? Ge is actually ger they son. Okay, rose from the dead. What's the lexical? What's the lexical meaning? 1453. Okay, those body were raised from the dead. 1453. That's just that deal. So let's check it out. The definition of this Greek word, okay, to wake, okay, arouse. That's what happened to not that his body came forth, but his spirit came forth from Sheol, from the center of this globe, and went to the room where the witch of Endor and Saul were, okay, in 1 Samuel chapter 28. And that's what I'm saying? He was aroused, he was wakened, he was angered, or whatever the case may be. B, to take, to raise up. See, that's the meaning. To raise up. Not simply to wake up. Now, their bodies were asleep. Even though we are asleep, okay, our body sleeps. You understand what I'm saying? We're still alive. We're still active. Our souls are very active at the point that when we go to sleep in the nighttime or take a nap in the day, whatever the case may be. Our souls are still active, yet we're sleeping. Just because, okay, people were sleeping, are sleeping now when they're dead, or or they were asleep or whatever before a certain resurrection or whatever the case may be, it doesn't mean that their spirit and soul are annihilated and they're simply in the memorial, the memory of God. You understand what I'm saying? Are you in the memory of God when you fall asleep? Is your spirit dead? Is your soul dead? Is it? It's not. May and not. Ooh. Okay, I use ooh. You know what I'm saying? Ook or ooh. Like we were talking about the Greek, okay, negative in Philippians chapter 2 verse 6. You understand what I'm saying? I think it's ooh there, like that. And then Mark from Missouri said ooch, and I was saying it's not ooch, man. It's probably ooch there. It's ooch. And then I was saying like coochie coo. And these people don't know anything of Greek. Come on, man. Can't tell me who Jesus is. You don't even know how to say ooch. I mean, come on. Stop this nonsense. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, give me a break. So the lexical meaning and the semantic range and the semantic pool To wake, to wake. You understand what I'm saying? Arouse. To wake, arouse. B, you understand what I'm saying? And that's a comma there. So to wake and then arouse. And B, to raise up. Okay, is that clear? To raise up. Is that clear though? I'm just saying. So they were risen from the dead. You understand what I mean? I mean, that's just the deal. Now, let's check this out. It says over here, and Greek word kai, the, and that's ta, tombs. Okay, menemea, tombs in the plural. Okay, the lexical form is actually meneon. Okay, meneon. That's the lexical form. Okay, meneon. Just pronounce the moon and end like mene, like that. Okay, just like panuma, pa, n, right? Mene, mea. Just remember Minute Maid. Just remember that cool drink, Minute Maid, and you'll be okay in Greek. You understand what I'm saying? You never forget it. You understand what I'm saying? Mene mea. Okay? That's just it. Okay, kai ta mene mea. Menemea. You understand what I'm saying? The tombs. This doesn't say memorial here. Doesn't say memorial at all. Let's look at the let's look at the semantic range again of this 3419 what. You understand what I'm saying? Now, let me see. Now, did I hit it? Okay. Definition. Did I hit it? Okay. Okay, a tomb. Okay, a tomb. Sepulcher. This is a memorial tomb, by the way. That's the meaning, memorial to it. It doesn't say that. See, you witnesses are putting that there because you want these people being annihilated from existence, and you want only these people to be in the memory bank of God so He can resurrect them in the future. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that though. So why are you pushing it there? Okay. Maybe I should call you Memory so and so. Even though your name is Mark, I should call you Memorial Mark. How would you like that? Huh? Memorial Mark. How about that? From Misery. Memorial Mark. Memorial Mark or Mark. Does it have two double marks in your name or something like that? Or does it have like a sleepy mark? How about that? Maybe I should put that in front of your name. Okay? As you translate your name, Mark, it comes from the Greek, by the way, okay? Markon, the gospel kata Markon, like that. Maybe I should put when you fall asleep in your debates and campaigns, okay? That's your witching hour, like 5 or 3 o'clock. Maybe I should put in front of your name Sleepy Mark. Does Mark mean Sleepy Mark? No, I'm putting that there because that's what you are. You're sleepy at the wheel. You understand what I'm saying? You're taking medications during our debates and campaigns, and that's why you get tsunamied, okay, in these debates and campaigns. Sleepy Mark. That's what I should do. That's what I should put. Hey, sleepy. That's what I should put. Right? You like that? Do you think that God likes you adding words in front of His word? It tells you not to add to His word. It tells you not to subtract from His word. That's what it tells you not to do. But yet you do it in union with Christ. Okay? You put that. And you put other words. And you take Jesus' titles away, Alpha and Omega, so you subtract from the word of God. And you think that God is just going to sneeze at you at the end. His holy nostrils are going to blow you away with the fire of Gehenna. See? Because you add and subtract. You play around. You monkey. You probably like that show in the 60s, the Monkeys. Hey, with the monkeys, you know. The people think we're monkeying around, but we're too busy playing and to put everybody down. We just try to be friendly, so come and watch us sing us play. So you like to play with the word. You like to play with the word. You like to monkey around with the word to put the tail between your legs. You understand what I'm saying? But we just put you on the trees like the monkeys that you are. So you just swing up and down, and we just grabbed your tail, and we just twist you tight until you fall on your knees to God. And
give Jesus the worship that you said that he deserved around 1964 in your charter. That's what I'm saying? And you deleted it in the 1960s and altogether in the 1990s, but not from your memory banks. That's in the memory of God. Everything that you did, everything you said with your hot pants and your filthy skirts from the tower, and God is going to send you straight to hell. The hell that you don't believe in, the hell, and the hell that you deserve. From adding and subtracting from his word, cutting off and then all this garbage. Found in your translations, cutting off. A God. All these things that you add to the word of God. Maybe God will sneeze at you. He'll blow you straight to hell by sneezing at your works and everything that you didn't do. You understand what I'm saying? Not believing, okay, that you can pray to Jesus. Thus, you don't call upon the name of the Lord for salvation. And you think that your filthy skirts and your hot pants and your briefcases on going door to door will get the job done. But God is not a respecter of persons, nor of anyone at the tower, the governing body, nor of you, either the other sheep or the other sheep, or what is it? The anointed class. Your works are like filthy rags in the sight of God. Your pamphlets stink. Your Burger King castle is gone to hell. And a new one too. And all your translations that don't have some certain chapters in it will be waste paper, tissue, toilet tissue in the sight of God. It says not to add or subtract from God's word. Deuteronomy chapter 4, Proverbs chapter 30, and Revelation chapter 22. He had it with you guys from the tower. He has had it up to here. You're no better than a Muslim. You understand what I'm saying? You're no better than they are that say not Trinity in their Quran. You're spitting vomited things from the Quran. Don't tell me that you don't believe in celebrating Halloween. I don't celebrate it, but this is the same Mark from Missouri, you know, the JW that looks at Star Wars. There's a lot of Halloween going on in there. You don't celebrate Halloween, but you look at Star Wars, Yoda, the Force, Chewbacca, C-3PO, Yoda, New Age. You look at that. But at the same time, in the other side of your sexy, sassy mouth, you say that you don't believe in celebrating Halloween. But you look at Yoda. And you look at the Emperor from Star Wars. You know what Jesus calls that? Hypocrisy. And it stinks. It really does. It just does, though. It does. I'm just saying it does. So you add and you subtract and you say memorial tombs. No, he got you in his memory, but all your works he has in his memory. Things that your deeds, all your things that you didn't do. Yeah, he got it in his memory. But it's not that you're going to be annihilated. You wish to God that you could be annihilated. You understand what I'm saying? But you're not going to be annihilated. Just like all these saints that came forth from the tombs weren't annihilated to me. You know, every person know again over here. May, you know what I'm saying? Hello and Hebrew. I see that the dead bodies were risen from the dead. You understand what I'm saying?
Says over here, kaita meneme a, okay, were open. And many, okay, pala, okay, from palus. You understand what I'm saying? Many bodies. Wait a minute. I thought you said there's no resurrection. Many bodies. That's what it says. Bodieeees. One E, by the way. Somata. Bodies. That's what it says. This isn't a neuter. Huh? Neuter plural. Nominative, by the way. Okay, from the Greek word soma, which is the singular version of this. You understand what I'm saying? Also the nominative in the lexicon. Soma. Over there, somata. Huh? Somata. That's what it says. Bodies of the who. Tone. That's a genitive plural. Okay, article. Okay. That's what it says. So let me see over here. It says of the, let me see over here, saints. Okay, so that's hagion, then the genitive plural again. Okay, having falling asleep. Okay, having falling asleep. And that's a reduplicating consonant kappa with a connecting vowel in the middle. That's showcasing the perfect tense. Okay. Ke, ka. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to get my magnifier to behave a little bit. Ke, koi, me, on, okay? Falling asleep. And that's a participle, I believe, over here. It's a participle. It's in a perfect tense, but it's a participle also over here. Okay? Koi ma amai. Okay? Koi ma amai. Okay? And that means I sleep. And this is in the perfect. It is a participle over here because of the omega there, and the new ending here. Let's check that out. Okay, this is a perfect participle, middle or passive, but is active in meaning. Okay. This is a deponent verb. A deponent verb, okay? But it's active in meaning, even though it has a middle or passive ending. Okay, my, okay? This is a deponent verb. It's active in meaning, okay? They fell asleep. Active. Ke koi me non. Okay? That's what I'm saying? And they were holy. They believed in the teaching. They believed in the doctrine. And they arose from the dead. They rose. So it's over here. And I already went through the Greek aorist over here. You understand what I'm saying? Let's look at it. Let's test out my Greek a little bit over here. See if this is an aorist tense, a completed action. Is this in a future tense? They will rise? Huh? Doesn't say that. It's not in future tense. Okay? This is in an aorist tense. Aorist indicative, passive. Okay? Aorist tense. Completed action. It's not a future tense. It's not for the future. They will rise up. Okay? Just like you like to push the meaning of, paradise. Truly, truly, I say to you, okay, today, comma, or what I'm telling you, I'm telling you today, and then you put the comma after the word today. You understand what I'm saying? Not to say that that the repentant sinner was going to join Christ on that very day. No, it's not that. No. It's just like what he was saying. He was saying to him today. Now you see. So you change commas around and add and say church from God's word, holy word, you see. So it's not memorial tomb after all. It doesn't mean memorial, a tomb. That word there, Colossians, doesn't mean cutting off. Theos in the predicate Bergean in John 1:1c doesn't mean a God. You see? That's just the deal. That's just it. That's it all across the board. You're going to hell. And when you get there, before you get there, you're going to kneel. You're going to bend your knees to Jesus. And you're going to tell him face to face that he is Jehovah, Yahweh. Oh, what to God, that the very pronunciation of that they like to do will be used in the eschaton. That'll be actually Jehovah. They'll be saying to Jesus, Jehovah. What to God that'll be that? What to God that'll be actually the word that they've been using all along? They're going to see Jesus. They're going to recognize him. They're going to recognize him like the brothers of Joseph did. You understand what I'm saying? When they went close to him. When they went close to the throne. They recognized Joseph. You see? And that's just it. Well, what did we learn today? Well, we learned that this Greek word doesn't mean memorial tomb. Okay? That's what we saw. We poked the bear of 34:19. You understand what I'm saying? And we saw, and there are other, definitions and stuff like that probably. And this is not exhaustive by any means. Let me see if I'm poking the right one. What's the definition? It says over here a tomb. Not memorial tomb. It says over here sepulcher. It says over here monument. Okay? But like I said before, not all tombs are monuments. Okay? Did you ever go to Washington, D.C.? George Washington is not buried under his monument. You understand what I'm saying? That's it's a disgusting sign, okay, used by the Mormons, by Masonry, okay. That's the male organ sticking up. You understand what I'm saying? George Washington's monument is a male organ. That's what it is. It's sticking up, like a culo, like a tree. You understand what I'm saying? That's what it is. That's what it is. That's a male organ sticking up in Washington, D.C., guys. And when I looked at it, I said, that's something that looks like a male organ. I mean, what's the deal with that? And I even know nothing about masonry or whatever the case may be. I said, this thing is sticking up like that. That looks like a culo. That's what it looks like, though. You see? But is that monument a cemetery or a tomb or something like that, or whatever the case may be? No, it's just a monument. So you can have monuments. This Greek word can be used as a monument, to memorialize, to eulogize somebody, or whatever the case may be. I mean, it can be used like that. But you can't put two words together and come up with memorial tomb. Okay, he's not talking about memorial tombs. Okay, he's not talking about monuments. He's talking about tombs, that every single tomb is going to let go of the dead. You understand what I'm saying? What about the tombs that are not monuments or something like that? What, those bodies are not going to be raised from the dead? Is that the deal? No. You've been lying to your people all along. Just like in 1975 and even before. Before that date came, all these dear people from the tower were running up their credit cards and selling their properties and divorcing their wives and not getting married and not going to school. Why? Christ is going to come in 1975. So what the hell? Let's just, one of the last articles in the year before that, 1974, when you get that collection of articles, the collection of articles, that big book, that big volume that has every single article from that year, 1974. They were talking about alcohol. I mean, Jesus is coming back. What are you talking about alcohol for? Drinking. What's the deal? Huh? You should see some of the articles that they wrote during 1974 and 75. Having prophesied that false prophecy in 1968 in one of their articles. You understand what I'm saying? They're talking about a whole bunch of things that wasn't even having to do with, didn't even have to do with eschatology. They knew that Christ wasn't gonna return. Why didn't they sell their properties? Why didn't they run up their own credit cards from the governing body, huh? Because you guys were suckers. That's why. They sucker you in to give them, and they did this periodically. Probably when their money was running dry, they came up with these stupid prophecies so that way you stupid people at the tower can contribute your money to the tower. So you were suckers all along. Except for the Chrétien couple and people like that in the dentures, they got out after the fiasco of 1975. They got out. They got sick and tired of the lies. They got sick and tired of the deceptions. They got sick and tired of it. Huh? They got sick and tired of being deceived. But you people are like a stinking woman that likes to get beaten up from time to time by their own husbands. You know, like you like getting beaten up from your husbands. You like getting tagged. And so when I say you're still there. You still like getting deceived. It's just like a stupid wife that likes getting deceived by their husbands. You know what I'm saying? Or husband, I should say. You just like getting beat up, you know? You just like that. You just like it. I don't know what it is. He is like a stupid woman that just likes that stuff, you know? And you're like a stupid woman that's still there. Being deceived yet again and again and again. Right in front of your kissers. For now is the accepted time. Now is the day of salvation. How shall you escape if you neglect so great salvation? His arms are stretched out still. All along I've been stretching forth my hands to gainsaying and disobedient people, whose necks are hard and stiff. You see? Who say not Trinity. That's just the deal. But don't listen to their voices because I didn't speak through them. Don't be afraid of their countenance. Because I have not sent them, says the Lord. That's just the deal. Whose filth is in their skirts? You see? Depart from me, you workers of iniquity. I never knew you. You thought that you can buy God. You can't. So we learned that, guys. Memorial tunes is not in the equation. It's not in the picture. It's not in the verse. But they lied yet again. They lied about magic wheat and corn. They lied about the Great Pyramid of Egypt's on par with the Bible. You see? They lied. They plain old dog lied to the people. To the other sheep. You understand what I'm saying? Are you sick and tired of being called other sheep? Huh? Not in our side of the camp, you know, we ain't other than that. We're the same. Submit to yourselves one another in the fear of God. What it says to one, it says to the other. That's what I'm saying? That's just the deal. This Angelo Quinones is giving glory. Much glory, total glory to the God of Israel. God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. That means that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were very much alive when Jesus said those words, because he could have easily said, I was the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But Jesus used a word in the Greek or in the Hebrew that showcases the present time. I am
the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. Thank you. Please subscribe to my channel. Please give me a thumbs up. Okay. And please leave a comment on the screen. If you're in the tower, get out now. Is the accepted time. Now is the day of salvation. Salvation will come to you and your house if you get out. If you listen to Jesus, the real Jesus of the Bible, and not the Archangel Michael of the tower. Thank you.